Let's see right here. Let's see, Vesta. Let's see here. Come on and send out that notification. Let's see here. Let me go ahead. Let me come to the screen. Let me come on up here. Come on in here, algorithm. Go ahead and do your job. Algorithm, go ahead and do your job. What's up, Vestas? Go ahead and get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Welcome back to the 50-yard line. Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson post-assessment analysis for the preseason first game of 2026. Final score 34-10 versus the Chicago Bears. And if you witnessed that live stream yesterday, woo, it was good. It was epic. It was fun. Despite the loss, I really enjoyed myself, Vestas. And I hope you enjoyed yourself, Vestas, too. But let me go ahead and take care of the algorithm. 50-yard line, Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson post-assessment analysis. Woo! You already know that score. And believe it or not, I did my homework. I did my research. The score was almost the same as it was when the Bears played Browns last year, December the 14th, 2025, in the Arctic Bowl. I think that's what they called it, right? The Arctic Bowl. But let me go and take care of this. Now, some of the highlights. Deshaun Watson, 11 of 15, dinking and dunking for 126 yards. Yeah, I threw a shot. Dinking and dunking for 11 out of 15 for 126 yards. Shedeur Sanders, that's 6 out of 11 for 79 yards. Let me tell you one thing. That was the highlight of the game. Both times, the third quarter, everybody was locked in, even the sideline for the Chicago Bears. If you don't believe it, go back and watch the live from yesterday. They were locked in. Come on. Dillon Gabriel highlight, 5 for 8 for 23 yards and 2 voluntary sacks that Dillon Gabriel committed by himself. And I got to follow up for y'all. I think we're about to see Taylen Green coming out this Saturday at 1 p.m. next Saturday. You don't believe me? Just wait. I got that headline. I just gave myself a Charlie horse. God darn it. Boy, y'all Vestas here. Another highlight of the game, Watson to Casey Concepion for that 27-yard touchdown. That jet sweep. That's what they call it, right? Jet sweep. Then we got that Shedeur Sanders to that Luke Floriea for 35 yards, and also the Gage Larvadian for 37 yards. Do you know when I noticed when Shedeur Sanders made those big throws to those two players, the offense got a lot of big cooler for Shedeur Sanders. I'm saying it, and I'll say Asante Samuel said the same thing. He even noticed that the game changed from the first half to the second half, especially in the third quarter. I'm going to bring him to the stage. Hold on. Also, I already told you, Dillon Gabriel, 2 voluntary sacks. They said, uh-oh. Cleveland, I said, Dillon did not even get touched on the field, and when the left edge rusher came towards Dillon, he didn't even touch him. Dillon failed. He dropped, stopped, and rolled. When the defender came, I'm going to say about 2 or 3 other plays later, came from the right, Dillon Gabriel, he ducked under because he was about to hit him. He was about to hit Dillon Gabriel right in the chest. Dillon Gabriel, he ducked, and he fell down on the ground. 2 voluntary sacks, but we're going to talk about it. But the biggest disappointing for me is tucking Taylen Green away, not letting Taylen Green come in. And I don't care. I know. I said at the end of the live, the reason why Taylen Green didn't make that trip is because three quarterbacks, and I'm going to say 3 players for each position is only allowed on the team. But what is this, y'all? Why does it look like Taylen Green was suited up and booted? I don't know. I don't know where this picture come from. It could have been, they could have been taking pictures for photo shoots. I don't know, but based off the video that I saw yesterday and some of the pictures I saw, Taylen Green looks like he was dressed out for this particular game. I don't know, but guess what? The next preseason game 2 against the Buffalo Bills that Shedeur Sanders will be starting against Josh Allen, Taylen Green would definitely be on the sidelines. And based off the articles that I read today, he's going to play. Dillon Gabriel may get benched for a game, preseason game 2. And if Dillon Gabriel does not get benched for a preseason game 2 after that showcase of what he did, diabolical. Diabolical. But one of my biggest disappointments was tucking Taylen Green after DG being DG. That's what we were saying in the chats. DG being DG by stinking up the offense. Jeudy, believe it or not, was 2 for 2 for 18 yards. And after he was like perfect, they pulled him out. They said, no. You will leave on 100% of this game right here. But that's it, y'all. That's it. But Tony Talks, vested up, compelling sports edge, 50-yard line, 50 football IQ, NFL analysis, Cleveland Browns player development, depth chart battles, and live sports commentary. You know how we do it over here. Now let's start. Let's start, Vestas. Okay, I got through that. Oh, that was a nice tempo. Nice tempo. Let me go ahead and turn this down. Welcome. I hope you got the energy. Now, let's go to have a good conversation for the next hour plus, because I'm double vested up tonight. But I need Shedeur Sanders. It's my first ever nephew. I'm going to talk about that game yesterday. Let's go. Hold on. What's up? How you doing, Rontel? What's going on, Rontel? Salute to you too, bro. Oh, yeah. I got to go. Yeah, I'm going to get offline soon because I forgot Coach Dre comes on at also around 3 o'clock. Justine. What's up? Oh, there go, Coach. I just said, Coach, I know you got to get on in about 40 minutes. I'm going to try to stay within that time frame. What's up, Slim081? Slim, matter of fact, I remember it was you and Justine, my first 2 ever veterans of Vestas to hit that link and come up and speak with me. And I remember we talked about this. And Slim, I thought about this last night. You was the first person ever to mention a KC Concepion doing the combine. I said, who was a KC Concepion? I said, yeah, KC Concepion. He didn't run the 40, but he did awesome in the field drills. And then later, I think near the NFL draft, somebody said that KC Concepion was actually going to go to Colorado to play with Shedeur Sanders. Was it the last year, or was it the year that Coach Prime got sick? But KC Concepion also had his eyes on the Colorado Buffaloes. So let's forget that. Let's not forget that KC Concepion, he was destined to play with Shedeur Sanders either which way with a Sanders. And now he's here. And KC Concepion showed out yesterday with a 1 touchdown for the Cleveland Browns. And we're going to talk about that too. But yeah, what's up, Slim? What's up, Coach Dre? How you doing? Good afternoon. See, Coach Dre, no. I was going softly, but you got to put what you used to put in the chat, okay? Until make me feel, there it is. Okay, I see it. There it is. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, there you go. Hey, and love Miss Tony. That's what I'm talking about. I need my old chats. Thank you so much. My old greetings. What's up, Miss Sassy Pat 64? What's going on? I think you're a new vessel. Welcome to the room. What's up, Dastin? Didn't we have fun yesterday? Well, I had fun yesterday, but I know we had fun. Hold on, what you said? Man down. It's too early. It's too early. Hey, listen, it's too early, Mel. Man down. Hold on, let me get Taylen off. With this right here. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and open this up right here. I don't know how the algorithm is going to deal with this right here, but let me go ahead. Algorithm, catch up. Shedeur Sanders. It doesn't matter if he's quarterback 1 or 2. Shedeur Sanders is the story. All right, algorithm, do right by me. Man down over here dealing with I thought you was talking about Dillon. My bad. I jumped to conclusions. Man down over here dealing with health issues on my vest. Hasn't been so tight. LOL, but I'm back. Mel. Oh my God, I hate to hear that, sweetie. Was that thunder? I really hate to hear that, sweetie. I really hate to hear that. I hope that you are well. I hope that you're progressing. I hope you're getting better, whatever's going on. You got my attention and my love and all the investors' attention and love because you have been here since day one, even way back when I remember you. So please, please, please get better, okay? And I hope that this live brings some type of laughter and joy into your life, just like yesterday, okay? But I really thought you was talking about get Dillon Gabriel, so I'm gonna hold off onto that, okay? But get better over there, okay? Get better. Destin, I rewatched, and Shedeur, a tally did good. Yeah, he did. Based on what he had, listen. Based on what he had, it basically, I went back and found it, y'all. It was like Déjà vu. Believe it or not, you go like Tony talks. What you talking about? It was Déjà vu. You don't believe me? You don't believe? I'm gonna come back and read this right here. This right here, Déjà vu. Believe it or not, Shedeur Sanders probably laughed it off yesterday because it was like Déjà vu. Here's the proof. All right, the Cleveland Browns, Chicago. Y'all know this was game yesterday, right? Now watch this. Déjà vu. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to change the thumbnail to say Déjà vu. This was last year, December the 14th, 2025. Look at the score, 31-3. And we know Shedeur Sanders, 177 passing yards to Caleb Williams, 240. Let me pull up 242. Let me pull my slides over here. And then rushing yards, Shedeur Sanders had 24 rushing yards last year. Watch this now. Déjà vu. Now look. Okay, here we go. Now look at this. Look at the comparisons. Last year with Shedeur Sanders was QB1 was 192 yards to Caleb Williams 361. Now look at yesterday, 314. We already know that, hey, it was a combination of all of the three quarterbacks. But look at that, 430. Look at the turnovers, almost identical. Look at the first downs, almost identical. Look at the penalties. Now, even yesterday, it was more penalties compared to the first game. On the left-hand side is 2025. On the right-hand side is yesterday, okay? Now look at the third downs. Almost identical. Look at this. Déjà vu. Now fourth downs, red zones, look at the possessions. Now, yesterday, no. So, almost to the end of the game, the Cleveland Browns had beat the Chicago Bears in terms of game of possession. Now, last year, Cleveland actually had about 8 more minutes of possession for the game. Now, watch this. Oh, is that it? Hold on. Now, this right here was last year. Now, we already know Shedeur Sanders. Last year, he surpassed the yards that he got yesterday. 177 yards compared to the 79 yards he got yesterday. Now, why do I keep saying that this is déjà vu? Well, you already saw the team stats here, right? You already seen the team stats. But I say it's déjà vu because who did Shedeur Sanders have on the field with him during this game last year on December the 14th? All third and fourth string players. So really, what did Travis Switzer, what did Shedeur Sanders trolls and haters and distractors? But you know, they really don't care nothing about that. As long as they get an opportunity to shoot shots at Shedeur Sanders, as long as they get an opportunity to attempt to degrade Shedeur Sanders, they don't care if Shedeur Sanders was playing with fifth screen, sixth screens, as long as they could get their shots out and try to injure and hurt Shedeur Sanders and his supporters, it don't matter. But I'm saying this is déjà vu. It didn't hit me until I started doing my research. I said, hold on. Last year, Shedeur Sanders had 3s and 4s. And yesterday, primarily, he had 3s and 4s against a very good Chicago defense team, just like it was last year. Of course, they 1s and 2s wasn't out there, but still, it was a definitely good defense yesterday. But so last year, This was Shedeur Sanders stats and all of the team stats. And Jerry Jeudy, even Jerry Jeudy, matter of fact, Jerry Jeudy only had about 4 targets last year and only caught 2. And in this game right here, this was yesterday's game. Here we go. Deshaun Watson, 11 of 15, 126 yards, average 8.4. Shedeur Sanders, 6 out of 11, 79 yards for an average of 7.2 yards. And Dillon Gabriel, don't let it fool you. Don't let Deshaun Watson fool you with the Deacon Duncan. Don't let him fool you. And listen, for Dillon Gabriel, that 5 out of 8, don't let it fool you. I know a lot of people say that the numbers don't lie. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. So we're going to move forward. But even Dillon Gabriel, he averaged 6.7 with a Deacon and Duncan, okay? Now, let's get into the Cleveland rushing category, all right? David Booth, I will say this. I did see him on the field with Shedeur Sanders yesterday. I did like what I saw in him. His number is 29, not 290. I did like what I see in him. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a little bit more of him in game 2. So as of yesterday, he had 4 carries for 53 yards, averaged 13.3, and longest 28. So that's why I'm saying we're going to see a little bit more of him. And also that Casey Concepion, after the first quarter, he was done. They pulled him out. And we like exactly what we saw with Casey Concepion. 1 carry for 14 yards, average 14 yards, 1 TD. The longest was for 14 yards. Now, Sanders, you see the stats for Sanders. Jenkins, I only saw him really in the first quarter with Deshaun Watson, along with Casey Concepion, and Jerry Jeudy was also in the first quarter. When it comes to Jenkins, 4 carries for 9 yards, average 2.3. But he was targeted for 6 times. Dillon Gabriel, bypass. Samson, number 22. I saw a little good action out of him. Shedeur Sanders, once again, didn't play with him. I don't think in the third quarter. But moving forward, he had 4 carries for 6 yards, average 1.5, and he was targeted 4 times. So that was good. Deshaun Watson, 3 carries, 4 yards, average 1.3. And then you got now this is the running back that I saw Shedeur Sanders mostly being paired up with yesterday. We looked at the depth chart. Hold on, let me go ahead and break up the depth chart. Let me bring up the depth chart. Marshall was the running back string for running back for the Cleveland Browns. So this right here, running back, he is the 4th string. And this is the one that I said once I realized what I thought what was going on in the game. Shedeur Sanders in the third quarter, in the beginning of the fourth quarter, he was working out the 3s and the 4s. Because as you know, like we learned last year, hey, that 53-man roster, they got to start cutting. So I really think Shedeur Sanders really was, like I said, working out the 3s and 4s, because this week here, they're going to start cutting. They're going to cut. So that's what it is. So, what would I rank Marshall? We'll talk about it. I don't want to give my assessment right now, but we'll talk about it. Okay. Let me go back to here right here. Let me go back to this. I'm gonna hold my. I'll leave it like this. Tony, just don't say nothing. Okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. And then Shedeur Sanders, 2 carries for 3 yards, average 1.5. There you go, right there. There you go, right here. So let me go to the next slide. Now, you know what I've learned. Now, football yesterday was that first milestone that we needed in the Shedeur Sanders 2026, second year of his NFL rookie career, NFL career period. This is what we needed. So now, guess what? We don't have to worry about no Mary Kay Cabot. We don't got to worry about no 4-letter word show. We don't have to worry about Ken Carmen, Anthony Lyman, Tony Grossi, Tony Rico, Tony this, Tony that, Tony, all these Tonys except for this Tony. Okay, except for this Tony. But all I'm trying to say is now I'm going to start relying on the actual past quarterbacks and their assessment in what they see of Shedeur Sanders and past players like the Shannon Sharps, the Cam Newtons, the Debo and Joe. And see, we need to take the power back from those that never played football. So somebody could say, well, Tony talks vested up. Well, where does that leave you as a woman that's never played football? I'm going to say very great observation. However, because I never played football, I'm going to do something that they don't do in Cleveland. I'm going to do my research, and I'm going to depend on other authoritative sources that have played the game, and I'm going to bring that to you. Okay, because I am a fan. Some of them people up there in Cleveland, they don't act like they like football, because the way I'm going to cut it, Tony. I'm going to cut it. I'm not going to say that right here, but let's go ahead and read this quote right here. I like this quote. Per Next Gen Stats, Shedeur Sanders had 9.2 air yards per attempt because Shedeur Sanders was throwing. Deshaun Watson had 4.4 yards per attempt. Watson played Deacon and Dunk. In contrast, Shedeur Sanders connected with a 35-yard thrown downfield and hit a 24-yarder. Let's see what Shedeur Sanders do next week. So the game coming up, Shedeur Sanders is going to have first quarter, second quarter with the ones and the twos, and then Deshaun Watson. No wonder Shedeur Sanders was smiling in the press conference yesterday at the end of the game, and Deshaun Watson, he was melancholy because he knows this week coming up, he's going to be dealing with the 3s and the 4s and maybe the 5s that Shedeur Sanders was dealing with. So it's definitely going to be a different type of game and outcome, and it's going to be a different type of energy in the air. Okay. But yeah, I agree with this. Now hold on. I got something else for you. Hold on. Now, okay, we already heard this. This was before, and I think Asante Samuel is going to say the same thing. That's why I kept this into the slide. His name was Gerald McCoy of the Browns on the Browns quarterback battle. He said, I secretly think they want Shedeur Sanders to win the job. Now, based off the performance and the opportunities that Deshaun Watson got yesterday compared to Shedeur Sanders, it looked at blink, it looked at iffy. But when you consider everything on who was playing with who, Shedeur Sanders having the 3s and 4s, Deshaun Watson having the 1s and 2s, and I made note that Gabriel, it seemed like Gabriel had even a better line than Shedeur Sanders. So I don't know who's playing around with the players on the field, but it seemed like what's his name? Gabriel actually had more time to throw and more protection than Shedeur, which I cannot fathom that. I can't fathom that. So if you're going to give Gabriel more protection in the 4th, why you still couldn't give Shedeur Sanders? Even matter of fact, hold on. Gabriel is around a 3rd rounder, right? Since you know people still sticking with Shedeur Sanders being a 5th round pick, and this is why, and this is why, and this is this, and this is why, all of that. Well, if that's the case, why they're not making the same case for Gabriel? Why he's not working out the 3s and 4s? Okay, but let's keep going. I'll let you come with your own conclusion. Now, this was that boy Casey Concepion after he hit that touchdown. This is that Casey Concepion. I got a few clips. This was Casey Concepcion when he hit that sideline, and you know I cannot play any video over here, so I'm doing my best. But I do got something from Bucky. Bucky did give us a little bit of something. But look at Casey Concepcion. When he caught that ball, he stayed upright on the top of his fingertips. So if you saw that live yesterday, I said, oh, man, Casey Concepcion, he kept the play alive on his fingernails. This is what I was talking about. And I'm pretty sure y'all already saw the live and the highlights. But this is Casey Concepcion when he caught that ball and he was hitting that sideline. Look at that angle. Hold on. Now, you know what? We already talked about this. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because last year, the Cleveland Browns won their first preseason game, and we already know yesterday they lost the 2026 preseason game. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to skip over this. Going back, Casey Concepcion, he was the first one that hit the touchdown for the season, preseason or not, he's the first one that scored a touchdown for the Cleveland Browns. So that is a sign. That is a sign. Okay. And that young man was having fun on the sideline. Now we getting into Shedeur Sanders. Now I need to find out. So 35, that was the running back. Thank you, Justine. That was Rocket Sanders. I need to find out who is 65, who is 63, because that O-line, I need to do my assessment of them. But this is who he was lining up with yesterday, and also a 69. So we got a 69 on the right tackle. We got a 65 on the center and a 63 on the left tackle. No, left guard. Okay. Now, this right here, the reason why I wanted to bring up, now this was the line that I just showed you is the line that gave him the ability to make this 35 pass down the field. Now, I like this now. Now, let me go ahead and try to work this in here, right? Shedeur Sanders lined up at the shotgun. He dropped back. Now, look at this. I wish I could share my screen. Let me attempt to do this like everybody else attempt to do this. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, I'm cutting my teeth. Hold on. So here we go. So Shedeur Sanders undropped back in the shotgun. Oh, good protection. Look at this. Good protection. No one is over here. No one to worry about. Look at this line, y'all. I do like this. That's why I want to highlight those numbers. Those 69, 65, 63, because look at this protection. Look at this protection. Look at this out here covered. So he's trying to go away. He probably could be hitting the slot. I don't know who this is. You got a defender. Hey, I like what I see right now. I need to get those numbers. Okay. Now let's move forward. Now here we go. Where is it? That's the one I'm on. No. Now, this is still good. Now, Shedeur Sanders, he did have 2 tip balls. Now, I don't know if it was with this line or the other line, but he did have 2 tip balls yesterday. And I need to look at those players and see those heights. But let's keep moving. Now, let me tell you one thing. For people that says that Shedeur does not have an arm, do you see the ball in this photo? Do you see the ball in this photo? Look at this. Do you see that? Do you see the speed and the strength that Shedeur Sanders threw? Oh, gosh, please hold off, Storm. Look at this. Do y'all see the way that ball looked like a missile? When I said that Shedeur Sanders throws missiles down the field, this is what I'm talking about. Look at it. Good protection. I need to find out who this player was. But look, Shedeur Sanders is clean. He's not running. He's not throwing. And matter of fact, Shedeur Sanders, he is throwing over his body. But Shedeur Sanders got that elite talent where he can throw over his body. You remember that say, oh, they don't like quarterbacks to throw their body? Well, when you got a pocket that can stand up and give you 3 to 4 seconds to do what you need to do and hit Luke Floriea on the sideline, this is what you could come up with. You got a Shedeur Sanders that got a cannon that can go from the left to the right, right to the left, and make a hit. Let's keep going. Now, this way I got an issue with. Travis Switzer, right? If I'm saying your name right. Travis Switzer. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Now, this is when I started having PTSD. Hold on. I need to get my mind right. Hold on. This is where I had PTSD. Shedeur Sanders is on a scoring drive. It's right here. We are right here. Shedeur Sanders has marched the team down the field. Why we get right here? Hold on. Travis, this is not the time to use this play. Now, I know hindsight is 2020, but this is not that time. The reason being, watch this. Shedeur Sanders is on a center. Do you see the formation for the defense? Oh, this is when the wide receivers, the X and the X and the Y and the X and the Z supposed to be spread out. This is when you're supposed to spread out the defense. Calm down, Tony. This is when you're supposed to either have a trick play or some type of maybe a wildcat play that Kevin Stefanski was attempting to run last year without Shedeur Sanders. But this one you're supposed to have spread out the offense. So at least if nobody's open in zero coverage, Shedeur Sanders could have went straight up into the end zone. Now look at this. Watch how this play develops. Watch how this play develops, okay? And I need y'all to grade me on this. Grade me on this. So this is, oh, no. So here we go. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. I jumped it. Hold on. Now, here we go. This is the lineup here, right? Now, I know everything is happening in quick time. And I timed this play. It was less than 3 seconds. But when you saw the defense, whoever the Travis, when you saw this defense lineup right here, you could have changed the play. Now, I understand Shedeur Sanders was being nice, courteous, but I wish Shedeur Sanders would have changed this play right here in the huddle. Do you see how they lined up? That means you could have changed the play and tried anything else to score on this drive. Shedeur Sanders had marched the team down the field. But look at this BS right here. Here we go. He hands the balls off to, I think this is 20. I'm going to say this is Marshall, okay? Marshall, sweetie, let me tell you one thing, sweetie. I understand you are 4th string, but you also is trying to make this team. When you see, look at 88 over here. Do y'all see this 88? He had him. I wish that, and listen, let's see, 46 was heading down to his waist. I'm going to say maybe he was going to try to get his feet or something. That's when Marshall should have jetted out to the right, or, oh gosh, I wish I could have showed the video, but I still wouldn't win up the middle. All I'm trying to say is Marshall, even seeing this play right here, Marshall is going directly up the middle. If you don't believe me, watch this right here. But instead of, look at the right, the field is open up over here. Look, the field is open up over here. Marshall here could have went out there just like Casey Concepion in that jet sweep. He could have got it. Watch, go straight up the middle. Where Tony prove it. All right, now I'm proving it. Do y'all see this right here? He is already here. He is in this mess. Look, if he could have got away from 46, he easily could have came back to the left. Whoever this player is, this left tackle here, he had good defense over here and could have just swing to the left or the right. Why go up the middle? I hate when you're going up the middle this far out of the end zone. We're talking about a 5. Let's see here. The line of scrimmage was probably on the 4. They was already back. Shedeur Sanders handed the ball off on maybe the 8 or the 9 yard line. That means you got to make up those additional yards plus to get to the line of scrimmage. I'm sorry, to the what's this? Oh, this is 4th and 1. I'm sorry, the 4th and 1. But still, why go up the middle when the defense had already showed you their formation? I'm going to call this the box. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to call this the box. You could have spread it to Travis. Not Travis, Switzer, I do know this. You were in Baltimore with Todd Monken. So you a seasoned. I'm going to go back and look at your resume. But when you saw the defense line up like this, you as the offensive coordinator should have been in Shedeur Sanders' headset changing the play. Because you can do that. You should have spread them wide. Oh my gosh, Travis, you could have spread it this whole entire offensive line, especially your wide receivers. And who is the tight end? I can't even see who the tight end is, but y'all see what I'm saying. But this was the only play that kind of irked me. And I think this is the play that Shedeur Sanders had talked about. I think this is the play that Shedeur Sanders, he wished he could get back. This is the play that I think Shedeur Sanders was talking about in the press conference when he said down in the red zone with that running back. This is the play that Shedeur Sanders was talking about. And I rest my case. But this is the play that Shedeur Sanders, he really think he wants. I know he wants to get this back. I think Shedeur Sanders, he tossed and turned last night. He was like, gosh, I could have scored last night. But Shedeur, I understand. Young man, I know you got a new offensive coordinator. You know, you want to be professional, especially the preseason game. This is also when the offensive coordinator, they're trying out their plays. Travis, this doesn't work. The defensive coordinator, he definitely needs to go back and assess that middle field protection with those DBs and those safeties. Ooh, horrible yesterday. Horrible. This is what I don't understand. The Bears, showed the Cleveland Browns their weakness yesterday early in the second quarter. And all throughout the second quarter, they was killing the Browns down the center. Out of those 400, how many yards was it? 470 yards that the Browns got. No, that the Bears, 430 yards that the Bears got off the Cleveland Browns yesterday. Most of this was down the center of the field. On the third quarter, the Bears exposed down the middle of the field. Fourth quarter, they still was hitting down the middle of the field. So whoever the defensive coordinator is, you need to do some assessment. Get it? Hey, now you got the rust off. Let's keep going. Yeah, let me go here. Look. Shedeur, look, laser. Shedeur. Listen, Luke Floriea, you're right now. You are on. Let me see. Luke Floriea right now is fourth string. I'm sorry. Luke Floriea has earned at least third string because we saw Corley drop that pass yesterday from Shedeur Sanders. I said it, Justine. Corley needs to be moved to fourth string, and Luke Floriea needs to be moved to, for the Z, he needs to be moved to third string wide receiver. Okay, I said it, Justine. I said it. Let me go back to the slides. I think I'm almost done. Hold one. But yeah, this play right here down in the end zone, this, look, they caved the middle. And I would have did the same thing if I was the Chicago Bears, because offense didn't change. They didn't change the play in the huddle. The offensive coordinator didn't change a different play. And guess what? Oh, the Cleveland Browns think they're going to get down the middle. Okay, cool. Look, straight down the middle. And Marshall, you didn't see the entire right side was open. The whole entire right side of the field was open. But hey, Shedeur Sanders is working out 3s and 4s. 3s and 4s. Look at that. 3s and 4s. Oh, let me get on Taylen Green. Don't worry about it. 3s and 4s. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look. This could have been Shedeur Sanders' touchdown right here if the offensive coordinator, Travis, would have changed the play when the defense had lined up in that box. I call it the box defense. I don't know what the official name is, but when Chicago Bears defense got right here, I would have changed it. Hey, but that's me. That's me. Now, what else is here? I'm just saying I don't like this. It caved, y'all. I don't get it. But Taylen Green. Now let's go ahead and get on Taylen Green, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. But before I get on Taylen Green, matter of fact, let me go ahead and share my screen. This is the news regarding Dillon Gabriel. At 38 minutes, Dillon Gabriel. Hold on. Dillon Gabriel. Y'all watch this right here. Let me share my screen. That's why I said this was the last game for Dillon Gabriel. If Dillon Gabriel plays ahead of Taylen Green in this particular game coming up, there's an issue with Travis Switzer. I'm gonna say he has undocumented bias in the locker room. Okay, Dillon Gabriel, and you see this article came out today. Dillon Gabriel's future in question after Saturday's performance. The website Browns Nation. Okay. The Cleveland Browns had their preseason opener versus the Chicago Bears on Saturday. Deshaun Watson got the start on the center, but he only played the first half of Saturday's loss. After that, Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel got their chance to play. Now, I hate this right here. Watson played well on Saturday. Here we go, y'all. But neither Sanders nor Gabriel looked great under center during Saturday's exhibition contest. Gabriel played the worst of the bunch and could have put his future in Cleveland in question after Saturday's struggle. Dillon Gabriel, we already went over this. 5 for 8, 22 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 sacks, two voluntarily sacks. Let's see. It was a rough outing for Gabriel, who completed 5 of 8 passing attempts for 22 yards with 1 interception, and he took 2 sacks. If you want to word it like that, but okay. The second-year quarterback doesn't appear to have much progression from his rookie campaign. Now they talking. It would be a lot more of the same, which could mean Gabriel's spot on the roster isn't dangerous. Let's see here. Barring any injuries, the quarterback competition is down to Watson and Sanders. Gabriel hasn't shown the Browns enough on the field to even put him in the competition for the starting gig. At this point, the Browns may pass up Gabriel for rookie Taylen Green. Let's keep talking. Last season, Dillon Gabriel threw for 937 passing yards with 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in 10 games. It actually should have been like 12 or 13 or 16 interceptions, but we know that game I'm talking about. 6 stars in Cleveland. Those aren't bad stats, and they don't tell the whole story. But Gabriel fails to make any big plays when he's under center. Deacon and Duncan Dillon. He continues to make short yards plays that aren't good enough to get the job done. Hold on. It is his only second year in the NFL, but the Browns may have more faith in Green as a prospect. Come on, Taylen. The Browns selected Gabriel with a 3rd-round pick in 2025. So if you think he's getting a longer leash, but maybe the Browns have seen enough to decide on what type of player he is. Dillon Gabriel, you're on the clock, sir. The 25-year-old keeps getting reps doing The 25-year-old should keep getting reps doing the final 2 preseason games. I don't think so. He's not ready for it. Y'all, Dillon Gabriel is not ready for the NFL. And I'm pretty sure none of the highlights is going to show the way that Dillon Gabriel voluntarily dropped to the ground, so a defender didn't even touch him. The defender didn't even grab his jersey, didn't touch him, didn't pinch him. Dillon Gabriel, when he saw that pressure coming from the left the first time and the right the second time, Dillon Gabriel, this is no lie, he took it upon himself to fall on the ground himself to prevent from getting hit. This is the NFL. You're going to have pressure like that all the time. The 25-year-old should keep getting reps during the final 2 preseason games. The Browns may try to build up his value in the hope they can trade him elsewhere before the start of the season. That's not going to happen. That's not okay. If a team even had any type of a small inclination of interest in Dillon Gabriel, and what Dillon did yesterday to himself, no, he didn't even try. Now, let me be fair. In the second time that Dillon Gabriel voluntarily dropped to the ground, which was considered a sack, Dillon Gabriel, when that right edge rusher came towards Dillon Gabriel and he was getting ready to hit Dillon Gabriel, he did duck under the guy's arm. When he ducked under his arms, there was no other defender that was backing up that edge rusher. That means actually Dillon Gabriel could have easily stayed up on his feet and tried to get to the sideline or tried to get the ball down the field, which would have gave him more of a rushing yards. But Dillon Gabriel, he fell to the ground. Dillon Gabriel is actually doing this to himself, y'all. I promise you. He's actually doing it to himself. They likely only want to carry 3 quarterbacks into the season. Right now, it seems like Watson, Sanders, and Greens are going to be those players. That's it right there. Okay, that's it right there. So Taylen Green, I really expect Taylen Green to get his opportunity this year here. Now, let me see something right here. Now, you know, I'm trying to prevent a copyright. I'm trying to prevent a copyright here. But so what I'm going to try to do, I'm trying to go to see if they're going to show Dillon, Gabriel. Let me see here. That's Shedeur Sanders. Turn this down right here. Okay, that was a good run here. This was in the second quarter, 15 yards, second. No, this is the first quarter. Okay, so this was Deshaun Watson out here. This was Deshaun Watson out here. I think this was who was 22. I think this is who was 22. Who's 22? Escape Sampson. This is Sampson. That was a very good run. That was a very good run. That was a very good run. Now the first quarter, this was Casey Concepcion's. This was Casey Concepcion's. Oh, there it go to the fingertips. First yeah. I love Casey Concepcion. Nasty. That's that boy's work. That's that boy's work. There go Casey. I'm trying to tell you, this was the highlight of the game right here. Oh, if Shedeur Sanders only could have scored in the third, but this right here was a good game in the first quarter. Even with Deshaun Watson, Deacon and Duncan. Okay, Deacon and Duncan. All right, right now, let's see right here. Okay, this is the Bears. Let's see here. I want to get to. Here goes Shedeur Sanders. Let's see here. Second. Let's see right here. Okay, that's a miss. Let's see right here. Let's play this here. Now, it's something else I want to highlight here, right? Okay, so this is Watson on the field. So this is second quarter. Hold 1 second. 1 second. Now, at this point right here, at this point here of the game, I knew that the Cleveland Browns were actually in trouble. I knew this. It's because this is where the Bears, they had already spotted the weakness with the Cleveland Browns down the middle. And from 17, I think his name is Bennett for Chicago Bears, to 13, it was dangerous. It was dangerous. It was dangerous. Let me get here. Oh, yeah, this was the only sack of the game for the actual Chicago Bears. That was a good play. Okay, that's the end of the second. That's the end of the second. So we just out here talking. Okay, at the end of the second, the Chicago Bears actually got the ball back first. Let's see here. Is this that play? Oh, here go that play, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Shedeur Sanders is lining up. Y'all see Gage out here. No, that's not Gage. Hold on. Oh, that's Larvadian. Yeah, that's Gage. Boom. I don't back it up. I don't back it up. I'm trying to tell you, the NFL is funny, y'all. The NFL is very funny. Target. I'm trying to get to the Dillon Gabriel portion. On one, y'all. That's if they show it. All right, we are already in the fourth. Shedeur Sanders did play about 2 minutes of the fourth. Give me 1 second. Let's see something. Let me stop this real quick. I don't need algorithm. Hold 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, that's still buffering. I don't think they showed Dillon Gabriel actually dropping and rolling. Hold on. I'm going to follow this right here. It's still buffering. 1 second. All right. So now let's go back to Taylen Green. So I've showed you proof, and I'm waiting for that clip to come up with Dillon Gabriel voluntarily hitting the ground to be sacked. Okay. Now, Taylen Green is going to be an absolute, how can I say it, weapon for the Cleveland Browns, even for Shedeur Sanders, because Todd Monken, and if Todd Monken is not, can't say that. If Travis Switzer is not building packages around Shedeur Sanders and Taylen Green to double team the NFL, there is something definitely wrong with Travis, because if Travis is not thinking of a dual system quarterback for Taylen and Shedeur, he doesn't need to be in the NFL. He was just brought over by Todd Monken because Todd Monken would have that comfortability of knowing somebody that he's worked with. Now, I don't like what Travis did to Shedeur Sanders yesterday. And of course, in this Saturday's game, I'm definitely looking for better play calling for Shedeur Sanders, and even the ability for Shedeur Sanders to change the plays in the huddle, something that I didn't see in the first game. But Taylen Green will do so much better than Dillon Gabriel. Hold on. Let me show you this. If you don't know who, let me bring this up for Robert Griffin. Robert Griffin, going back to this, I'm not going to rely on the Cleveland media no more, analysts no more. Robert Griffin, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, all of these ex-NFL players, I will be getting my commentary for, okay? Shedeur Sanders on 3rd and 13, drilled to 12 yards deep, drifted to 12 yards deep off of his backdrop, will drive every O-line man and O-line coach crazy, because it doesn't allow the O-line to set a proper pocket for the quarterback. But if you do it, you better make the throw, and Shedeur Sanders will. That's what I'm saying. Shedeur Sanders has a talent that I think that we all know that Kevin Stefanski was intimidated by Shedeur. I even think that Travis, and I hope that I'm misspeaking, but I think that Travis Switzer is also intimidated by Shedeur, because if you allow Shedeur Sanders to do this near the 50-yard line, why did you call such a bad play when Shedeur Sanders was in the red zone within 10 yards? That's like Travis. I hope Travis does not have a limitation just like Kevin Stefanski did when it comes to that red zone offense. This is when Shedeur Sanders was the most deadly in college, y'all. We're talking about Shedeur Sanders, who was most deadly in college without an O-line. But maybe I'm just talking too much. Maybe it's me, right? Maybe it's me. Come on to the stage, Asante Samuel, and tell us what you feel about it. Come on with it. Let me get the other video. But while that's coming up, let me go to the chats while that's coming up. Let's see right here.
Chicago Bears versus the Cleveland Browns, man. The power struggle for quarterback number 1 continues. And the goal for Todd Monken, he wants to see both quarterbacks operate this offense with the least amount of mistakes as possible. That's first. Then the next question would be, which quarterback is more of a playmaker, right? And keeps the chains moving. Like I said, when it comes down to Shedeur, will Todd Monken accept Shedeur as the playmaker he is and let Shedeur mature when it comes down to the little things? If Shedeur hits that man across the middle instead of throwing that interception, I would have came up here today and told y'all, it's time to name Shedeur Sanders the starting quarterback.
Come on with it, Asante.
But unfortunately, he missed that throw. That was a big throw.
Let's just say, if y'all didn't see the game, the throw that he's talking about, I hate to compare it, but even Dillon Gabriel missed that throw. Even Dillon Gabriel, that was the only throw that Dillon Gabriel threw that was over 20 to 25 yards. Shedeur Sanders, he missed his wide receiver he threw it over about 3 to 5 yards. And Dillon Gabriel, he missed his wide receiver target at least about 7 to 10 yards in the same direction, same play. It was the same direction, same play. Now, I don't know if the wind, because they do call it the winning city, I don't know if the wind was a factor, but Shedeur Sanders did say in the press conference game that it was sand on the ball. But it was, I'm going to be fair, the same play that Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel sailed the ball over the wide receiver's head, okay?
when Shedeur is in the game, the energy is different.
Mm-hmm.
The energy is just different.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel. Hell, I would even go out on a limb and say Shedeur Sanders is a more athletic quarterback than Deshaun Watson is at this point in Deshaun Watson's career.
Thank you.
Watching Shedeur move around out there today and watching Deshaun Watson move around, it looks like Shedeur Sanders maybe just a tad bit more athletic. That's what it looks like to me. But I don't see either quarterback separate themselves from this game, in this game. Now, on that interception by Shedeur Sanders, I knew the football got away from him, which resulted in a bad throw. I knew it before he talked about it, before, as soon as he threw the ball, because it was very off. It looked very awkward.
Yes, it did.
And everyone was ready to write him off.
Right, crazy.
I wouldn't be too upset at that play because he's still growing. And that's an easy correction for Shedeur because he's always been an accurate quarterback. I would be more upset at the quarterback center exchange that resulted in the fumble than him throwing that interception, because that interception, we all know, if you know football, is very fixable.
What did you see on the interception?
What I see, the right read, just slipped. It's the right read, it just slipped. So that's what makes me be mad a little bit because of it. But I don't, any decision I make, I know it's the right decision. I just didn't execute the decision, but the right decision was made. So every day I look and I see about decision making, like how's my decisions I'm making, and that's how I grade myself off of. Obviously, turn the ball over and all that stuff is not great, and it won't survive a long time in the league doing that. But as long as my eyes and my feet and everything was in the right place, being able to execute it just may happen. So I look at the positive of things, I'm alive, I'm breathing. I'm able to come up here and talk to y'all, so, I can't be that down.
Yes. Like I said, an easy correction down in the chat. I see you in the chat.
Oh, god dang. Yo, what is the last thing y'all heard? What is the last thing y'all heard? What's the last thing y'all heard? Justine, put in here what's the last thing y'all heard. But to Lord Clyde, thank you for this right here. Let me see, when did Justine, okay, that was only 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds. But thank you for this. On this play, Shedeur was instructed to help Marshall. He did not keep his head up. I know something was wrong. Okay, DG was a laughing stock. I've been trying, okay. Lord footage, come back tonight at 7, okay. Shedeur Sanders seems to me to be a solid, outstanding, capable player. Outstanding, even with what he's been giving in the last 2 years. Outstanding quarterback, Bunny. Unbelievable if they just put the right people and stop playing all these mental games. I do like an intelligent quarterback who can scramble and run a safe distance. Shedeur should have gotten more reps than he did, even though he had an interception. Dillon was terrible and wasted. Oh God, Cam, you must have felt my frustrations from yesterday, but I'm assuming, and I think the reason why they had to keep Dillon into the fourth because Taylen was not there, and they was going to reserving Shedeur Sanders because he's going to start off preseason 2 game. And actually that was the I think the strategy. Deshaun Watson was going to play first and second quarter, and Shedeur was only going to play the third, but he did play the third in a little bit of the fourth, maybe two minutes, and then Gabriel had the rest. But you're right. If Taylen was there, I really think they would have put in Taylen. Because Dillon, I'm going to say even this week in training camp, Dillon they need to switch Dillon and Taylen. Whatever Taylen is doing, giving that to Dillon. Whatever Dillon's been doing, give that to Taylen Green. He's going to utilize that. Taylen is a deadly weapon. Of course, a quarterback who can throw and hit his target is essential. I once saw a quarterback who ran the ball into Taylen Green is a quarterback like that. That's what I'm saying. If Travis Switzer is not thinking on how to utilize Taylen and Shedeur, he don't know how to coach. He don't need to be an asset because you got Shedeur Sanders and Taylen Green on one team. Oh my gosh, y'all. We can run away with the playoffs and make a run to the Super Bowl if they utilize them right. G. Bush was working on 18 weeks of Shedeur propaganda. Here he go. I mean, if G. Bush been working on 18 weeks of propaganda, the same here. Oh, there go Raul. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, old friend, old troll friend? How you doing? I need to go back and unblock y'all, but how you doing, Raul? Oh, hell, we got another one here. Oh gosh, I drove by Monken's house and there was a I can't stand you, Raul. I can't stand you, Raul. I can't stand you. Concluded that G. Bush is an opportunist. What y'all doing? We just started the season. Where all this talk coming from? What has happened? What has happened with G. Bush? Why everybody talk about G. Bush? What done happened? What is going on? He's alive and breathing and still throwing interception, just like Dillon Gabriel, just like all the other quarterbacks. And what's his name? Deshaun Watson didn't even throw over 10 yards, not one play. Y'all selected. Link to break down Shedeur Sanders' interception. He said in an interview the ball slipped. It was wet. I'm sorry. You're good, pick-a-boo. Shedeur Sanders did say that. When picking your starting QBs by tanking and potential. Oh gosh, Jesus. Shedeur is a solid pick. Just give him the chance to shine. I love his confidence in the video. Bunny, let me tell you one thing. The Cleveland Browns know who they got in Shedeur Sanders. That's why teams have been calling last year and this year. The Cleveland Browns will not even entertain nobody's request for Shedeur Sanders. They're not giving up Shedeur, so they know who he is. I don't know why we're going through this rigmarole, but hopefully, by game 3, Shedeur Sanders is the starting quarterback, and we don't have to worry about these type of talks no more. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns started quarterback, and we don't care. Like I said last night, we don't care if the Browns are trying to win football games. Through Deacon and Duncan. Matter of fact, I was thinking about this last night. Deshaun Watson is only a taller, melanated, more athletic Dillon Gabriel. Decent enough at this point. I'm going to say at this point of his career, because he is coming off a long hiatus, 2.5 years, 3 years hiatus. Okay, but you on mute. Thank you, sir. I got you. I think the next football season to come. Thank you, Justine, for having my back. I think the next football season to come, Shedeur Sanders will prove himself. No, this is this year. That's this year. Will come himself. Will prove himself to be an MVP for his outstanding leadership. He is well deserving of all this accomplishment. Last year, even in his rookie year, he went to the Pro Bowl and he played in the Pro Bowl. So Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur Sanders, trust me, they know who Shedeur Sanders is. I heard DD tripped over his shoelaces. Hey, how you doing, Lady PC? What's up? I'm almost done. They could have given Shedeur at least one. Right. Listen, they took Casey Concepion out in the first quarter. They could at least gave Casey Concepion with Shedeur Sanders, paired them up at least by 1 or 2, 3 plays. That's it. Come on, one. Shedeur would be good. New team, new roster. This is what the preseason is for, Pickaboo. I know, but watch this. Watch what Asante Samuel going to say. The new Browns are miles further than the old team was. You're right by that. You were so right. Come on, Asante.
An easy correction. It's just the ball slipped out of his hands. It's about making an accurate pass, setting his feet. Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken know what's up. Shedeur knows he left a lot on that field.
Yes, he did.
Trust me. You've seen him smiling up there. He feels good about today. I'm telling you, he feels good about today. Just imagine if the football didn't slip out of his hands and he completed that pass. It would have been a wrap for this competition. Competition over with. It's a wrap. Also, some more positive things for Shedeur Sanders.
Come on with it.
That was really good execution by Shedeur on third down during the first series.
Come on with it.
The first series on that third down when they was expecting the blitz, and then him getting the team on one page to quick count. They was able to catch the defense off guard and give Shedeur Sanders enough time to hit that deep pass. That's how that play was designed. It was designed that way for the deep pass to give Shedeur more time, catch the pass rush off guard. Now, that's Deshaun Watson, right? I saw a few plays where it looked like Deshaun Watson found his confidence.
Come on.
Looked like he was getting back to his old self. But once a little pressure started to penetrate through the line, he started reverting back to bad football.
Like I said, like Dillon Gabriel. I just said he was like Deshaun Watson. What I saw yesterday is like Dillon Gabriel in so many ways. That pressure. They can't take that pressure. And we already know Deshaun Watson, he is protecting that side that was injured. So he, of course, he was watching that pressure. Listen to this, y'all.
I think he's lost his confidence. I think he had lost his confidence in his offensive line at that point.
And he had 1s and 2s.
Because he started watching the rush.
See?
Started watching the rush and not concentrating on keeping his eyes.
I'm messing with it in the background. Hold on.
Down the field to hit the correct pass. Deshaun Watson made a lot of errors, a lot of bad mistakes out there. Now, I was happy to see him get out there. Of course, he was out there. Today was a day for him to knock the rust off and just get back to playing football after 22, however long it's been. But he didn't push the football down the field. Deshaun Watson didn't complete a pass over 10 yards.
Thank you.
His passes were all 10 yards or less.
Thank you.
I want to see him.
Thank you.
Push the ball down the field. Make more plays down the field. You understand? Now, Deshaun Watson had 126 yards. Everybody's clapping it up. It looks good. Right?
Thank you.
It looks good. That screen play to the running back put most of the yards on Deshaun Watson's stats. Like I said, I will have to see more from him. I'm not convinced yet, and I'm sure Todd Monken isn't convinced. The only person who's convinced is Travis Switzer.
See?
The coordinator.
See?
He is pulling for Deshaun Watson, and we're going to get into that. And if you think Deshaun Watson outplayed Shedeur Sanders because you're looking at the stats, you're highly, highly incorrect.
Okay.
You have to evaluate those plays. Shedeur Sanders had the drop pass. I think it was Gage. Gage dropped the corner route. Beautiful pass. Shedeur Sanders made a beautiful read in cover 2. Shedeur made a beautiful read and threw the ball right over the cornerback's head on the sideline. And number 84, Gage.
Larvadian.
That was one play.
Drop the pass.
You understand? But you can't really use those as a valuation where giving Shedeur the credit, as fans and supporters. But the coach, you look, you see plenty passes down the field what Shedeur was hitting.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson is going to watch the rush and hard for him to get the ball down the field. Now, those passes he had early off in the game, they were basic passes against basic defense. Not taking nothing away from him. I'm just telling you, I'm calling it like I see it. And the best time to evaluate a quarterback is during the 2-minute drill.
Yep.
The best time to evaluate a quarterback during the game is during the 2-minute drill. And what happened during the 2-minute drill? Watson wasn't really successful. By the time the 2-minute drill came, I seen Deshaun Watson already starting to lose confidence in himself. But overall, Deshaun Watson operation of the offense wasn't the best, but it also wasn't that bad. I think it was good for Deshaun Watson, for him getting back into football after having so much time off. For anybody else, any other starting quarterback, franchise quarterback, what Deshaun Watson did out there today would not have been good. But because that's Deshaun Watson, we have to accept that. And, it is what it is. Even though he's a $40 million contract, he's a $40 million contract, $40 million guy by default. Yeah. Now, if I'm Todd Monken, the biggest disappointment is obviously those turnovers. And the unforced errors is what bothers you, right? The quarterback center exchange. Shedeur letting the ball slip out of his hands. That happens.
It happens.
And Deshaun Watson, his little fumble issue, it was the same thing. He was getting ready to take off with the football during the 2-minute drill, watching the rush. And then tried to get rid of the ball at the last minute.
Hey, hey. So if you're not understanding, especially the trolls, on what Asante Samuel is saying, if Deshaun Watson was watching the rush with 1s and 2s on the fields, and he could saw where the pressure was getting to him with the 1s and 2s on the field, even with the O-line, imagine what Deshaun Watson will be doing mentally on next Saturday with the 3s and the 4s on the field, including the O-line. And they won't be able to withstand that pressure. Deshaun Watson is going to be looking. I'll let you come up with your own conclusion based off what I just said. And if Deshaun Watson started feeling that pressure with 1s and 2s, imagine what he's going to look like the whole entire third quarter of next week's preseason game. And I'll leave it like that. Come on with it. Let me speed it up a little bit. I'm going to speed it up.
Green could do now.
What you say? Taylen Green.
Sanders to win this battle.
Taylen Green.
He really wants Shedeur to win this battle. But man, let me tell y'all, man, there's this.
He is an NFL legend. Stop it.
Dillon Gabriel guy, man. It's so funny to see
Dillon Gabriel
get out of the field, especially that Kevin Stefanski is in there. Todd Monken, man, he is wasting his time with Kevin Stefanski draft pick, Dillon Gabriel. He's wasting his time. We've seen enough of Dillon Gabriel. It's time to give the rookie Taylen Green some reps and get him on the field and see what he could do. Dillon Gabriel is a non-factor anymore. He's not a factor.
Damn.
He's a nice guy. He works hard. Yeah, all those great things. But let's see what Taylen Green could do now.
Taylen.
And man, they have some weapons on offense. They have some speed and some young talent. KC Concepion, man, he's going to be a serious weapon for the Browns. The guy could play. That kid can play. He's very hungry, aggressive, and he's a dog, man.
Yes.
You know, yeah, they got some young talent. I'm ready to see the Cleveland Browns go to work. I think they're going to be a lot more decent than people expect, especially if Shedeur wins this job.
Thank you.
Man, I don't know what else to tell y'all. You put the right tools around Shedeur, you put the right team or right defense. The players out there on offense. You know, give him a little time to block and let him cook and get comfortable to playing how he plays and adjust to the speed of the NFL. Man, Shedeur Sanders is ready to go, man.
What do I need to say? What does anybody else need to say regarding Shedeur Sanders when you got an NFL legend himself speaking like Shedeur Sanders like that? And for you, El Hombre, let me tell you one thing. You don't watch Asante Samuel videos all the time because he's been critical of Shedeur Sanders also. So you don't know what you're talking about. But hey, welcome to Tony Talks, vested up, compelling sports edge. But y'all, if y'all want to go out and support Asante Samuel, last night he did that live, which is where I clipped it. This is the name of the video that he did last night. Asante Samuel reacts Shedeur Sanders versus Deshaun Watson complex QB battle. Thank you, Asante Samuel. Thank you. And he has been critical of Shedeur at some places. But I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Let me go ahead and remove this one here. But yes, Taylen Green, his number should be called. Now, if Todd, starting tomorrow, Todd Monken should be mentioning Taylen Green more in the before anytime he do those press conferences before training, after training, we should start seeing Taylen Green on the field now with Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. Taylen Green, it's your time, young man. It's your time to stand up in those Cleveland Browns colors because your time is coming on Saturday. Taylen Green, he's locked in, y'all. He's locked in. He's locked in. Let me go back to the comments. I think I read all the comments, y'all. I think I read all the comments. And Lord Foots 2020. I'll be back on at 7 o'clock tonight with that next story. But y'all, thank y'all so much for participating in my post-game assessment and analysis of what we saw. Hold on, Bucket did one right there. Well, hold on, Bucket did something. Bucket. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. I like Bucky was at the game yesterday, or maybe somebody went to the game for him and he was able to provide us these clips. But I love it. 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 And then I think it was a short. He didn't record, or he hasn't published all of the footage that he or somebody from his team got from the game yesterday. He only provided so much time. It's Taylen time. Oh, ladies. Oh, I like that. It's Taylen's time. I like that. It's Taylen's time. I'm about to put that in the next title. I give you credit, Lady PC. I'm about to take that. It's Taylen time. It's not no DG. It's Taylen's time. I like that. And the courtesy of WellofMedia, courtesy of Bucky, Deion Sanders Jr. It's Taylen's time. So while y'all was watching Asante Samuel, I went back for the highlights. They did not have those two clips when Gabriel fell on the ground himself. Now, I may go back through the app that I watched the game on yesterday, and if I could get a clip of that, I will show you. Gabriel voluntarily, even the second one, once he actually ducked, because he was quick now. Dillon was quick. He ducked under the arms, but he actually could have just kept running, but I guess he's not athletic. Gabriel is the one that's not athletic. But thank you, Bucky. Thank you, Bucky, for all these little clips that you did show us. And I think also Coach Prime had a scrimmage maybe this weekend, because he The latest video that Bucky did yesterday, I'm going to say about maybe 5 or 10, 7 minutes of it was this footage here. And the rest of the footage was Colorado Buffalo footage regarding the scrimmage. Let's see here. There's a live Zoom press conference. With who? Pickaboo? With who? With Cleveland Browns? Monken. My aim in the game with reporters. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here you go. Who is this? Okay, hold on, y'all. Thank you for that. Thank you.
A variety of reasons why. Some schematically, and some we just got to play better. Got to get better movement off the ball and better backside cutoff on certain runs.
Next, we'll go to Fred.
Courtesy of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, Coach, adding on to the offensive line there, is it any more settled at center and right guard, you know, with the injuries you have? Does Elton seem like he's kind of settling in at center?
I think that's where we're at right now with Parker being down. I think Elton there and Tevin at right guard. There's still a lot of football here in the next couple of weeks. Getting through really the plan for sure has to be when we get done with New England. Once we start practicing what I guess you could consider as the first week bye, what used to be the last preseason game, we want to be able to use those reps to get ready for Jacksonville with our starters.
Do you expect to get any guys back like Carson or Mike Hall, you know, this week?
I'm expecting a number of guys back. I'm hopeful that we'll get Zinter back, Xavier back tomorrow, Chapman back tomorrow. I think we'll know a little bit later in the week with Mike Hall and a couple guys. I think we're looking at having a number of guys back for the Patriots week. There's a few guys that probably still need a few days. And I'm not sure that with practicing with them on Thursday and then all the way to Saturday, but I expect to get a decent amount of guys back this week and hopefully the same amount next week.
Next, we'll go to Cam.
Dad, I wanted to ask about the third phase of the game. You had all three of the punters in that position battle out there in the first preseason game. Andre Schmidt hitting that 50-yard field goal. Like, big picture, what are you seeing from your special teams unit so far this summer and after that one preseason game in the books?
Well, I mean, first of all, we went into it with the punters to see all of them and give them opportunities. And like any young players, just like offensively and defensively, it's good to play these preseason games. Whether you're the punters or you're any part of the special teams, it was fun to watch those guys play.
Mm-hmm.
We certainly have a lot of work to do. I thought we were pretty good on special teams, making the initial field goal. And then our coverage units were pretty good. Punt, we kind of outkicked our coverage once. But I thought those guys were good. I thought probably we were the closest to being game ready on special teams. Not that we were perfectly clean, but I did think that our guys played at a very high level.
I had another question about just the quarterback competition. Before the game, you said that, you know, you were looking forward most to just letting them go out there and letting it rip. Does that have a different maybe definition for each guy, with Deshaun trying to, you know, just get his feet wet, shake that rest off from not playing so long, Shedeur maybe working on some of the things? Like, does let it rip have a different definition to you in that kind of scenario?
Well, when I'm saying that, I'm saying it really for the players as much as anything, to let it rip. I'm a big believer, and it's hurt me at times that I've said it before, like being a perfectionist sometimes can make you indecisive. Like you want it to be perfect, and you're not going to be perfect. You're just not. You've got to go out there. We've got a 40-second clock, right? By the time we get the call in, you don't have 5 minutes to decide what protection you're going to get us into, what play. we're working under the gun. So you've got to live with your decision and shrink the margin for error, and then you got to let it rip. You got to go. And because if you, at times, trying to be perfect leads to indecision. Will this work? What if they do this? What if they do this? What if they do this? And then you're just paralyzed. That's what I meant by that. More than not so much in the play calls from my end, but more along the quarterbacks of it's okay. You're not going to play perfect. I'm not going to call it perfect. There's plenty of things I wish we would have done better. You know, and when we went in the game, another part of it was we weren't trying to move people in positions. Like in a game, you're going to tag players to play certain spots, right? Whether you're asking them to block a receiver or tight ends and what they do well. We just want to see guys in spots and see how they reacted.
Hey, for the investors in here, hey, let me know how do you rate yesterday's game, A, B, C, or D, okay? And Todd Monken, how do you rate him? And I'm gonna do the same thing in the chat.
Next, we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Todd, just wondering, when I'm looking over the practice schedule, the way that you described it, it seems pretty heavy Shedeur for this week, with him going Monday, Wednesday, then half of Thursday, then starting the game on Saturday. Is there a concerted effort to like really give him an opportunity to, see what he can do in this competition and really make a strong case for himself, or what is sort of the philosophy there?
Well, at this point, Jake and I again met earlier, and we're pretty balanced at this point, within reason. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. So if you're going to alternate it, Wednesday, well, first of all, tomorrow will be in shells. We'll go an hour and 45 minutes. Wednesday, we'll go in shorts and get a lot of red zone work. Mm-hmm. So really, Deshaun going Tuesday in a longer practice, we'll get a few more reps in those days. And then we're going to try to split the reps. So there wasn't really a concerted effort. It's just you were going to have to decide who goes what days and who goes the others, and how we get it as close as we can, again, to giving them an opportunity to let their talent shine.
And what does Shedeur need to show you this week? This seems like a pretty big week for him, obviously, with getting the start and everything. What are some things that you would really like to see from him this week?
Well, he's improved so much. I mean, he really has, in terms of climbing the pocket, working through his progressions. I think that's a big thing. Even on the one that he threw to 81 in the slot, like he drifted too deep. I mean, we caught him in the blitz, but they weren't even close, created kind of his own pressure. There's some things he can, and then operation, it's still a part of it, getting in the huddle, getting lined up, getting the call. So does Deshaun. They're both in the same manner. So we can stack plays together. We did a good job. Maybe the most positive thing we did yesterday was we overcame some penalties. For God's sakes, we overcame the first and 25.
That is true.
We overcame a couple other penalties, and we hit that big 3rd and 13. Shedeur did. So how can we play cleaner at all positions? And certainly with him, how can he play cleaner?
Next, we'll go to Jeff, and then we'll wrap up with Scott.
Hey, that actually was a good question, Mary Kay Cabot.
Hey, Todd, can you just give us an update on the players who were injured yesterday?
Oh, shoot. I don't have the list with me. What do we got? Peter's over here. Coates. Peter will get me right.
Coates and Evans.
Yeah, Coates. Again, I don't know exactly where he's at. And Evans, I think, is going to be fine. Coates, I think, hopefully we'll have him back sometime this week. Felt like he was okay this morning, and we'll know a little bit more this afternoon on Bates, Brendan Bates.
Right.
But we've been pretty lucky, knock on wood, through camp. We really haven't lost anybody yet long term, like for the year. We haven't had any major injury. We've had some, some little nicks and bruises and different things that keep you out, and some muscle issues, but we're fine.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Next, we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Ted, I think you said that you thought Spencer Fano looked good for a rookie. What did you like about his performance, and where do you think he needs to clean it up?
Well, he's just got to play. I do think he competes. And I said that back when he got in that little scuffle with Gerald, a little bit of bite back, a little bit of competitive fire. I do think that all of the different looks that come up in a game, basically post snap. It's one thing to be pre-snap, is another when the defensive line starts to move. And when you're going against a different front, like other than walkthroughs and prepping for the Bears, we hadn't gone against an odd front. He'd never seen rarely has he seen a 5 technique to his side and a Sam backer. So there's certain things that you've got to go through and keep learning and put it in your memory bank, and be able to function. And he's certainly plenty athletic enough, certainly plenty smart enough, and he's only going to continue to ascend when you're wired the right way. You've got a competitive stamina, you're smart, you're athletic. I think he's going to definitely continue to ascend.
Thanks.
All right, that'll be it for today. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Let me back it up a little bit. Let's see what we missed. It was how many minutes was it? 20 minutes. Okay, about 20 minutes. Let's see here. Hey, thank you for this pickup, boo, for letting me know.
For some error there.
It's preseason, buddy. I get it.
Just wanted to ask you about the quarterbacks as you
about 5 minutes
these
games
with the quarterbacks. Deshaun going first and then Shedeur as it was in Chicago and vice versa. Do you script the start of each halves or the start of each of their times out to sort of maximize their opportunities there? Or do you, once you get into the flow of the game, whether it's whoever's coming in the third quarter, fourth quarter, do you sort of just kind of let it ride there?
Well, the opening script we did for Deshaun, and then when we get together at halftime, it's a little bit easier. It's a great question. When we're able to go on defense to start the second half, it's easier because it's only 13 minutes at halftime to try and, all right, what are they doing? What do we want to stay out of? We were getting double cat, so we were trying to fix it on the sideline, some of the runs we liked, and then what did we want to stay out of? So we did this past weekend come up with another script, basically what we liked for sure, Shedeur, but we did have the openers for Deshaun.
Also, just one other, and this isn't a quarterback related, but Amani Marshall was the third running back up. Has he sort of surpassed Raheem in the pecking order there, or was there something specific you wanted to see out of Amani there?
I wouldn't say that. I would see them as an or. I would expect to see Rocket going first as the third back this week. I think they're both competing for that third running back spot.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Todd. When you look back on the film, did you see anything different about your quarterback evaluation when you went back and watched it?
No, other than there was, as I said, a number of times where just the quarterbacks being on the road, in and out of the huddle, using silent cadence, that was apparent that we still have work to do. Now, the next 2 weeks we'll be at home, normal cadence.
Okay.
We'll get to practice with the Bills, still a work in progress. But that was probably the most frustrating thing was we spent so much time getting in and out of the huddle. Our subs were good. Like that part was good. I thought our communication from the sideline on the field that I got frustrated the other day was good. We didn't have issues with, for the most part, we had 11 on the field, broke the huddle. We just got to continue to work to not waste plays. We took a delay game, took a timeout, had a missed cadence on the fumbled snap by Shedeur. And there were a couple others that formationally, again, just getting used to, again, being on the road. That's why we're doing it. Us as a coaching staff and then us as players. So that was probably the biggest thing, just a reminder of those. But everything else was pretty much what I saw down there, what I thought. So from there wasn't like anything where I thought, well, we got a little push here, we got this here. Yeah. Pretty much what I thought.
And I know what you said about splitting reps against the Bills on Thursday. How are you going to handle Monday through Wednesday with the two quarterbacks?
Good question. Who answered that? Who?
I was just talking to Jake about that.
Hold on. I need to give respect to somebody.
Splitting reps against the Bills on Thursday.
Patrick.
How are you going to handle Monday through Wednesday with the two quarterbacks?
No, Scott. P-Track. Hey, Scott.
I was just talking to Jake about that, Coach Pajakian. I think we're going to go Shedeur Monday and Wednesday, and Deshaun Tuesday, Thursday. But Thursday's really both.
Yeah.
So it's really, I'm meeting with Joe Brady here at 4, so it's just trying to get blocks set up in each, say it's rundowns. Can we get 16 plays where maybe we go 5 with the 1s, 3s with the 2s, 5 with the 1s, 3s with the 2s, and that means both quarterbacks will get 5 reps in each block. Rundowns, pass downs, red zone, 2 minute. Those kind of things we're going to work through here in 27 minutes.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Todd, just wondering, with this being such a big week and with the regular season opener less than a month away, what gives you a comfort level that you can still afford to split up the reps like this and really still alternate these guys and pretty much not know what your situation is going to be?
Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. This this right here is actually a pretty good question by Mary Kay Cabot. She's basically saying, what comfortability do you have to continue to do what you're doing, Todd Monken, going 30 days out from the less than 30 days out from the first regular season game? This actually was a pretty good question. Come on, Mary Kay, hold on. What's the answer?
Be until after this Bills game.
Let me rewind a little bit.
You can still afford.
Mary Kay, this is a pretty good question.
Yeah, Todd, just wondering, with this being such a big week and with the regular season opener less than a month away, what gives you a comfort level that you can still afford to split up the reps like this and really still alternate these guys and pretty much not know what your situation is going to be until after this Bills game, probably?
Well, again, I did feel going into last game that it was relatively close, in terms of both having an opportunity at the starting position. So it would be unfair to not go into the next game and allow Shedeur that opportunity, albeit a different team, certainly at home. There's no guarantee that, the same players will be playing this game, but it's the closest you have. And we owe it to both players who have really handled it well and have competed at a high level.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all. All
right, next we'll go to Jeff.
Let's see what Jeff go ask.
Hey, Todd, I want to ask you, I know they're out there kind of briefly, but how would you assess the way your starting offensive line played yesterday?
Well, we intended on just playing the first series, but when we went 3 and out, we decided to put him back out there along with Q. I think there was some positives there. Early on, we got what I was talking about, like a little snap count snafu where we snapped it before we were ready. That led to the trip by Titus. And I thought they played solid. I thought they all battled. I thought Spencer played good for a rookie. I don't think the moment was too big for him. And but it was really, I think it ended up being 8 plays, I think something like that, maybe a little more than that. But I thought they played fine. And I expect us to take a big step forward, obviously having the practice on Thursday against those guys and the ones. And they're going to have to. I mean, because we didn't see all of the Bears ones. So we're going to have to definitely be ready to go on Thursday.
And then the run offense. When you watch it back on film, what did you determine?
Well, we certainly didn't scheme for them, and then we got a lot more of the off the edge double cats. We could have adjusted sooner as a staff and spread them out a little bit more like we did in the second half. We were trying to make adjustments of runs we wanted to see, during the game and still leave it up against that. But we just hadn't practiced it enough. It was a more schematically us needing to practice it more. We really hadn't seen, really against our defense, we don't go against an odd front. And then we certainly hadn't seen double cat and those type of looks. I mean, that's really the starting point. But then we were trying to work against it, if that makes sense. We were trying to get it right on the field, and we just didn't. That was a starting point. And then there was a variety of reasons why, some schematically and some we just got to play better, got to get better movement off the ball and better backside cutoff on certain runs.
All right, y'all. I think this is exactly where we picked up. So we uncaught the back half and the front half. Listen, Mary Kay Cabot, that was a pretty good question. Also, I like the question from Scott P. Track. Hey, very good questions. Todd Monken just mentioned something about off-edge double cat. I'm going to have to look that up because I definitely want to know what is that. An off-edge double cat. Hold on. If y'all can hold 1 second, let me go ahead and ask one of my friends right here. Hold on. Let's see here. Can I do it? Permissions. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let's see here. In terms of defense, what is an off-edge double cat defense scheme? Let's see. Yes, in football terminology, an off-edge double cat usually describes an aggressive pressure concept where the defense threatens or sends two defenders from the same edge. God dang. Okay. Often from outside of the defensive tackle. Think of it overloading on one side of the protection. Gotcha, Todd Monken. Gotcha. And here's a picture. Next slide, I'm gonna show this picture right here. But that's a double cat. That's off-edge double cat where basically you got you've offloaded you got a overloading one side of the protection. But y'all, in the case of Dillon Gabriel, he did not get an off-edge double cat. I need to go back and watch the highlights. Matter of fact, I don't even see Dillon. Well, I did see Dillon Gabriel on the field, right? But I don't think I didn't see Dillon Gabriel get that pressure. Now, I saw Shedeur Sanders get that pressure for sure. I didn't see Deshaun Watson get that type of pressure, but okay. Let's see here if it'll work. That's what it looks like on the books. So I'm going to try to start looking for that during the game. Thank you for that. What does a cat mean? In a defensive system, cat is a terminology for pressure, blitz, involving a cornerback or another designated edge defender. By terminology varies by coaching staff. There is no universal NFL definition of a double cat. Gotcha. Thank you for clearing that up. If a coach says a double cat off the edge, they're commonly describing two potential pressure players aligned outside or near the tackle creating an overload. Gotcha. For example, against Cleveland, it's going that deep, huh? Right tackle plus tight end side. Edge rusher attacks the tackle. Nickel cornerback linebacker attacks outside or inside him. The offense suddenly has two rush threats coming from the edge. God dang. We taking notes over here today. Okay, why is this dangerous for a quarterback, y'all? Hold on. Why is this dangerous for a quarterback? It says the defense is trying to force the offensive line into a protection problem. The tackles may have to decide, who do I block? Hold on. If the tackle takes the inside rusher, the outside cat can have a direct path towards the quarterback. Okay. I need to go back and look at that Dillon Gabriel play, but I don't think they would have put that much pressure on Dillon Gabriel, who's dinks and dunks. Okay. Now, who do I block? If the tackle takes the inside rusher, the outside cat can have a direct path to the quarterback. If the tackle widens towards the cat, the defense edge of offensive linebacker can attack the neatly created inside lane. This is why it's dangerous. Okay. The defense can also show double cat and not actually seeing both players. I like these plays. Decoy. I call them decoy, trick plays. That's where it becomes particularly useful against quarterbacks because Shedeur Sanders will have to pay for, okay, whoa. I see that double cat. Now, this is where Shedeur Sanders will have to take that into consideration. He will have to take that into consideration as if they're going to execute it. but he also has to take in consideration, okay, well, if they send it 2 over here, somebody else has to be open. And mind you, Shedeur Sanders is doing this in a split of seconds. They don't give, let's say here, hold on. Let's say it counts down. Let's say 24 seconds. Let's say 24 seconds because it's 24 seconds. They got to get the ball off, right? They got to get the ball off. But still, we're talking about in less than 30 seconds, Shedeur Sanders, an elite quarterback, is taking all of these mental notes. He's scanning the field. He's looking at this. That's why I said Shedeur Sanders in any other situation, if he was comfortable with that offensive coordinator who would have been comfortable with him, he would have changed that play. He would have changed that play down in the red zone. But okay, all this in the split second. Hold on. All right. The defense can also show double cat and not actually send both players. That's where it becomes particularly useful against the quarterbacks. The offense may change its protections to account for the 2 edge rushers while one drops in coverage. Come on with it. And this, you going deeper? And this connects directly to the type of Shedeur Sanders analysis. Never mind. I can't tell you what else I'll be discussing behind the scenes. But I like that, Todd Monken. Keep on dropping them nuggets. We're going to talk about that more, y'all. Hey. We just went to class a little bit and came back around full circle. So, yeah, let me see here. I'm going to go to the Raul. I'm not messing with you. You're right. Will Chamberlain could not have caught Dillon Gabriel's settling of the ball over the targeted wide receiver head 7-10 years from the yards in the back. You're right. I've heard that before. Not sure what it was. I just read it. I'm glad y'all be staying with me, y'all. I'm gonna look it up. I'm like, well, DG was running from and tackled himself. Well, I give you credit. A blitz, but it's overloading the pressure on one side. So it's kind of different from a blitz, but I give you partial credit for that, Elohim. I'm sorry, Lord. I thought it would just you good, Pickaboo. Deshaun Watson has to also. I give you that. Trick plays can be good if executed. Not what can't be confessing. Now listen, let me tell you one thing. If I was Todd Monken, and now listen. I know we lost yesterday, but yesterday was a good baseline in terms of going against elite defenses. Because you got to give it credit. Even though they was maybe playing 2s and 3s out there, Chicago Bears always is a dual threat team. Even on defense, they had one of the top defenses in last year. So with Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, Taylen Green, because he's going to start the field, and Deshaun Watson, they can use what happened yesterday as an advantage, because as Todd Monken said, hey, they was not prepared for a double cat. So hey, take it. Shedeur Sanders, you gotta be crazy, Elohim. You know what? Trick plays can work if yes. Look at y'all. We having fun over here. So Vessels, I'm not gonna hold your time, but thank you so much for coming back for my first postseason game ever on Tony Talks Vested Up, a compelling sports edge. And y'all, hey, please like the video, hit the thumbs up, even to you too, Elohim and Raul Havana. Thank you for remembering Tony Talks since last year, because trust me, them trolls, they helped out last year too with watch hours and the sub counts, okay? But yeah, as long as y'all come in here and y'all just talking football, good. But don't come in here talking crazy now. It ain't too much of Shedeur Sanders dislike we're gonna take also from the comments. So you only got probably about a little bit to talk about Shedeur before you get blocked. But you won't get blocked. You'll just get put in time out going crazy. But y'all, thank y'all so much, y'all. I enjoyed this post game analysis. Okay. So, and all my other double besters, I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay. 7 o'clock. No, 7:45. I'm sorry. 7:45. I'll be back tonight. Okay. So thank y'all. Tom Monken said this is practice for them. And this game showed him what they needed to work on. Facts. And Shedeur Sanders would get Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Deshaun would get Tuesday. So we shall see. I wanted them to ask about Dillon, Gabriel, and Taylen Green. But that's okay. We know one of them is eventually going to play this weekend. It better be Taylen. Taylen time. Lady PC. Taylen time. Yes. We just having fun, y'all. Bye-bye, y'all. Yes, yeah. All right, investors. Until next time. Hold on. All right, investors. Until next time, make sure you go to get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Because we stay vested up over here at Tony Talks, Vested Up, Compelling Sports Edge. And I will see you next time. All right, investors. Football season is officially here. Thank God. Thank God. Come on, Shedeur. Come on, Taylen. They released this on a Monday. Oh, my. Hold on, let's see what's going on. It has been announced that Shedeur Sanders have gotten that number 2 jersey back. Oh, my. We're going to talk about this today. Hold on. Let me go through the chats. And trust me, today is a celebration. Today is a celebration on a Monday because normally this is Friday or Saturday type news. Go ahead and celebrate on this YouTube scenes. And we're going to say in the last 7 days or less, we talked about investors. We talked about it, and I know you remember because we don't have short-term memory over here. Hold on. Shedeur Sanders got that jersey back. Give me 1 second, investors.